Earlier this election, we covered a story in which a local Indigenous band didn't want signs posted on their land without permission being granted first. Now we've received responses on the proper protocol. Take a look. When the Gitwangak Band Council asked the Conservative Party to take down signs that had popped up on their territory unexpectedly, the party said those signs were on a highway right-of-way and they weren't removing them.
Campaign team simply came back and said, can you take pictures of where they are because they're on a right-of-way, which is a very colonial way of thinking, and it just reinforces our point that he's not respecting how to have respectful dialogue with Indigenous peoples in this area especially.
They also asked if the other guys were asked to take their signs down, but it turns out the other guys had asked permission. Now, CFTK News has received responses from both the BC government and the Union of BC Indian Chiefs on proper protocol in this situation. Grand Chief Stuart Phillip of the UBCIC said that First Nations have the inherent right to decide what takes place on their lands, including whether political signs are welcome. That right doesn't disappear during an election. He went on to say political parties need to understand that placing signs without engagement or permission shows a disregard for Indigenous authority and the principles of reconciliation. And according to the Ministry of Transportation and Transit, they said that shoulder and right-of-way widths can vary. They went on to say that the Ministry of Transportation recommends political candidates seek permission from the First Nation to place signs along sections of highway through reserve land. The Gitwangak Band chose not to remove those signs, as they said they did not want to feed into a destructive narrative.
I kind of said hope floats. I was really hopeful that he could just respect our position. His 5 little signs from within our reserve boundaries isn't going to sway this election. And quite frankly, this is the only riding where if every eligible Indigenous voter signed up to vote, we can actually sway who gets in this federal riding. And so why he would want any more dissent or discourse of lack of respect is a little bit beyond me, because we can just encourage as many Indigenous people as possible to vote and recognize the harms that may come to us with denying residential schools, voting against UNDRIP for free, prior, and informed consent, and any other social reforms that are the only hope for benefiting some of the challenges that we have on reserve and off reserve, quite frankly.
For CFTK-TV News, I'm Jaylene Matthews.